Dear Anet, you know how you can make some nifty weapons in the Mystic Forge, like Liss, Immobilis, ha, those rhymed, so on and so forth. There's lots of weapons that are really cool that you make in the Mystic Forge, and you make them with a couple of things. You make them with Eldritch Scrolls, and Mystic Coins, and then other stuff. Well, I was thinking, instead of essentially murdering people with more mystic coins, what if you could make gifts, and you could make the gifts out of some of the mats that really need a purpose in the game? So I'm talking pulling out, say, a weapon, and the weapon is made out of foodstuffs. So you have to make some gifts for it. So let's say we're going to make a weapon and it looks like a cornucopia, but it's a war horn. Okay? So it needs a whole bunch of gifts of food. Okay? So you need 250 of 4 types of vegetables to make a gift of that vegetable. 250 of mushrooms, 250 of fruits, 250 of things that would go into the cornucopia, okay? So for your fruits, maybe you need a stack of 250 grapes. Grapes are in cornucopias. Passion fruit. Passion fruit's pretty worthless. How about blackberries or raspberries or, stuff like that? Then you could say for the 4 types of vegetables, you need cabbage. That's obviously a worthless vegetable. A head of lettuce is pretty worthless. You could say that you're also putting in zucchini, cabbage, zucchini, heads of lettuce. Those ones are all worthless. And green onions. Green onions are super worthless too, or cauliflower even. But green onions, pretty worthless. Then you could say, now you need a gift of, you know, mushrooms. So you put in your sawgill mushrooms, your actual mushrooms, your portobello mushrooms. Okay, say you have also a gift for the cornucopia um, that's of like meat. You could put 250 slabs of red meat, 250 clams, 250 oysters, and 250 pieces of poultry. However you want to go about it. And so you make these gifts, right, until you have 4 gifts. You have your gift of, you know, fruit, vegetables, meat, and mushrooms, and then you combine all of those 4 things together to make a gift of the food for your cornucopia weapon. And then you take the gift of the food with an Eldritch scroll and, your oiled pieces for the warhorn, and you combine them together to make a cornucopia weapon. But this way you're getting rid of a ton of these not very valuable mats that are on the trading post. You could do it again, but say this time you're gonna make a seance candle, and it's going to be inside of a cute little like dish bowl thing with like a glass top so that it glows inside, and every once in a while it looks like a spirit's face fades in looking at the candle and then fades out. A cool looking weapon, right? But that you can make it a focus. We need more cool focuses in the game. Okay, so you've got this focus, right? And you want to make it. Well, let's make it with like gifts of defeat. So 250 of every type of minor rune of ice brood slaying, minor rune of serpent slaying, minor rune of centaur, okay, minor rune sigil of Grawl slaying. I'm sorry, I'm saying these wrong. Sigils, okay, of sigils of Grawl slaying, minor sigil of undead slaying. So you're saying get all these sigils, you put them together, you take stacks of 250, and you put them in until you've got 4 in each spot for the Mystic Forge thing, and then you drop them all in. And then these are enemies that you've defeated, okay? So then you'd go and you could even say potions, okay? The horrible, worthless potions of centaur slaying, dredge slaying, so on and so forth. And you have to take the weak, the potion, and the strong potion and combine them together and the minor one, okay? And combine them together for each one of these things and then combine those together. And then you eventually combine the gifts that you make from the potions with the gifts that you make from the minor runes, and you combine it together to all over and over again until it creates a gift of defeat, okay, of defeated enemies, so that when the spirits come up and look at your candle, it's the spirits of the enemies that you destroyed. And then you take that gift of defeated enemies and you combine it together with an Eldritch Scroll and your oiled parts for your focus. You know, something where you're getting rid of all these horrible things, you know, that don't matter and have no purpose in the game right now as they currently stand. They're completely valueless. And you give them a value by turning them into a cool weapon with the Mystic Forge, so anyone can do it and can get rid of these, you know, stuffs from the trading company. And instead of having to hit destroy all the time, because destroying things is not a fun mechanic, you can instead have a nifty weapon. And that's just a couple of ideas for weapons. I'm sure people at Anet can come up with cool weapons too for all these, you know, senseless things that have like almost no value. You could take all those tonics, especially the Halloween ones, you know, the ones that there's like hundreds of thousands of them up and they're worthless, you know, turn them into gifts for a weapon that you combine with an Eldritch Scroll. And, you know, people will have a use for them and it would be good, and just take a full stack of 250. Anywho, that's something I would love.